Hey, hello everybody. Wow, this is a new day, huh? Trying out my new Zazoo Plazz lavalier mic that I got for my birthday from my husband. Everybody's being quiet today, so I don't sound like I'm trying to pull anything over on anybody. I got a new setup. We'll try this out and see how it works. We're getting there. Leslie Plazz here for another edition, November 8th, 2020, of the Zazoo Plazz show. Hope everyone is doing well today. I'm glad to have you back, or for the first time, welcome. And this is the place where I talk about what's going on in Zazoo land. So we've had a very exciting week. It was my birthday on Monday. I got some nice things, and it's typical. We're in Scorpio season. Some things are with Scorpio. It's all about endings, right? I'm very comfortable getting rid of things because, like raking leaves, getting rid of things to make room for the new sprouts, the new growth. And it's really a time of new beginnings. As everything we can see outside, leaves, everything is kind of coming to an end. And yet at the same time, I can feel the sprouts of something new. This is when you plant your tulip bulbs, right? Well, in my case, I just picked up a couple of bags tonight from my Aunt Georgia in the book, which is my dad's sister. It's interesting because I named her Georgia in the book. That's not really her name, but this past week we had our national election, and Georgia turned out to be one of the states where it was really close. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I had written the book a couple of years ago, or last year, way before any of this happened. So then, with the election, of course, now we have a new president-elect. And so things, even there, as the new administration is coming in, we're still, I think, dealing with, everybody's sort of dealing with, okay, now, what do I do with this? And there's this. So I get a call from my Aunt Georgia, who, in the book, she lives up the road. And she and her husband are moving to one of those assisted living places, because they have a tough time getting around and they can't be as active as they were. So they're going to move into this place, and it's basically, just a couple of rooms. And so she called me up. She said, so I have some things. She's like, can you come pick them up? She says, oh, I got a sprout maker, and I got a few books and things. So I went over there, and I got a couple of books, a couple of bags of stuff, some books here. And so I'm just going to say she was thinking she was going to give me a book of stuff about my grandmother, about her mom, my Granny Bilodeau. But that ended up going to my cousin. So in the future, he'll have some stories about Granny, and maybe I could borrow it, look at it if I want to learn more about Granny's life, which is fascinating. I talk about in the book as being the pioneer, solid branch from which so many twigs sprouted and have borne fruit, or will do so in the future. Very interesting. So I looked through the bags quickly. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this away. I'm going to put it on Town Shares Facebook page, this and that. And then something said, well, hold on. And all of a sudden I had kind of like this this nostalgic feeling, sort of, it's kind of, it's sort of sad when you move. And I started thinking what she must be going through, moving from her house and having like things like my grandmother's maple table that was in her house when she was a little girl, when my Aunt Georgia was growing up, and how that must feel, trying to find homes for your things. Because things, sometimes they take on memories, they take on feelings. And that's one issue I always explore in my Zazoo books, how are the pieces of furniture, the items of our lives, they take on sort of memories. So I started looking in the bag at the things that my aunt thought I would need on my journey as she goes off on the next phase of her journey. I said, I think I can learn something, and at the very least I can get some good stories out of it. So I'm looking through the box, and she had given me some of those nice jar candles, which you never have enough of, because I guess they can't have, candles in the assisted living place because they might, catch on fire. Good. So she gave me some of those nice jar candles. She gave me some an nice apple candle. She got some nice things. And this is a Yankee Candle one. This is kind of nice. It's one of those, those little candles shaped like a fruit. You could put it, and I love fall. The things you get from people, they tell you as much about them or yourself as they do about the giver, right? The giver and the receiver. And then she gave me this little pamphlet here on how to set a table, which it occurred to me that, that's something that used to be important in society, I guess. When you got married, know how to set a table. I just kind of fling down the placemats and, wherever the silverware, everybody, you people get your own. But, it's been a long time since we've had any people over to dinner. But it's something I always like to do, So here they show like where to put the little flowers and where to put the plate and all the different forks. When you're in the middle of a pandemic and a weird election year and everything seems to be falling apart around you, setting a table just doesn't seem like that important. But to her, living in a society where those little things are important is important to her. So we have that, and maybe someday I'll have some dinner parties and I'll think of Aunt Georgia. Carry on those traditions. And then she gave me a little book because she gets all these things. She's a lifelong devout Catholic, and as was my grandmother. Right? And all these cute little things when our boys were born and baptized. She gave them all rosaries and little games and puzzles with Catholic stories. And oh my goodness, I have that little plate. It's the give us this day our daily bread cracker plate. All good Catholics have to have one of those for Thanksgiving, right? All these little mangers and little beautiful things, beautiful mangers and candles, and all the beautiful objects, inspirational, sacred objects that Catholics like to have around. Little statues and things like that, and that that strikes at my heart because that's something that reminds me of my mother's generation and before even my grandparents' generation. Good Catholics would have, you know, you have the picture of Jesus on the wall looking at you to make sure you were on your best behavior, right? You know, cross on the wall. Lots of people don't have those things as much as they used to, but they sure kept you, they kept you honest, right? And then she's got, oh my goodness, it's the Grow Your Own Survival Medicines Guide. Survival Herb Bank. So I guess Americans are just one disaster away from living like the Haitians did after earthquake. Food, water, and electricity, and no, it's okay. So this is the disaster planning. Apparently, she wants me to be able to survive when the big one comes. There's all these like herbs and things. You can, you know, have your own herb garden, and hopefully I won't need that, but you know, it's a little clothes catalog with little outfits and things and capes and little booties, and she's, oh, that's kind of pretty. No, I might wear that, you know, like skirts and things, little, you know, because she's always been very stylish. My aunt, she's always had very nice clothes. So that's something that I can aspire to become better dressed. And here's one for inspirational books and things. All kinds of little crucifixes and necklaces and rosaries of every kind. Wow. So and I'll have my herbs, I'll have my capes and my devotional prayer books. And let's see. Oh, this is the big one. This is the super duper kitchen crop sprouter. Now the one I have that I write about in the book, where Jack says I was sprouting some dung beans. What I write about in Zazoo Plazz is a sprouting adventure gone very, very bad. An epic fail of epic astronomical proportions. Now my sprouter was just this little thing. It was like a little cup with a couple of plastic inserts. You know, it takes up very little room in the cupboard, because I don't have a lot of closet space in my house. But this thing, now, Georgia must have read the book. She wants to make sure that I have the best sprouts in my future life, so that I stay nice and healthy, and I can withstand the big, whatever the big one is going to be. I hope not. I hope I'll be able to have some food, not just sprouts, but see, she wants to make sure I have the very best sprouts. And this thing is like the multi-level penthouse of sprouters. This is like, mine is like a single-family ranch. And this is like the penthouse. This is like the super duper triple plex of sprouters here. We got 1, 2, 3. You can sprout 3 different kinds of sprouts at once. This thing, this is this like sprouter on steroids right here. This is, wow. So I got my candles, I got my light, I got my food, I got my reading and praying material, I got my clothing, some medicinal herbs. So, and I got to thinking about it, you know, sprouts in the book, and the bus of sprouts, it's in there. The idea of a sprout being, you know, the future, right? So, getting rid of things, and at the same time, planting seeds that will grow into a, green, vibrant life in the future. Now's the time. Now's the time to think about, what do we want to create? What do we want to grow? And better than we did in the past, because we have the tools, we have the energy. And once we figure out what it is, what kind of sprouts we want to grow, nothing can stop us. It's just figuring out what to keep, what to get rid of. What do we need where we're going? Maybe a little something from the past to remind us of the finer things in life, because those don't have to go away. We have to just decide, what are those things that fill us with a sense of comfort, with a sense of being alive, a sense of, nurturing and sustenance, that bring the flavor of the past and the scents and the tastes of the past into the possibilities of the future. Having my salad with some yummy sprouts, or maybe I'll just give that one to somebody else. Just keep my old one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, that seems like enough for this week. So I wish you a good week, and I hope that you're working on some good things for your future. You have some ideas that you can plant, grow, and we'll see you next week. And I'm working on a special holiday story time, and I'm going to have like a Zoom holiday Zazoo storytelling event. So I will keep you posted, and I am getting my website up and going. So those are some things that I'm working on. I'm very excited. And the holidays are coming. Get ready for Thanksgiving. So have a good week. Lots of light, lots of laughs, lots of love. Zazoo Plazz signing out. See you next time. Bye-bye.